Hey, it worked. We're live. Pat, say something.
We did it again.
Okay, cool. Audio's looking good. Whew, boy, episode two, and we haven't screwed up everything completely so far.
Double deuce.
We should.
I will
I should send a
say,
tweet.
um, I listened to some of last week's episode, and I definitely got to get my good microphone out. This little guy's not cutting it,
That's okay.
but we get better and better as it goes. So
Okay, I should probably get some sort of automated thing that just like tweets and Facebooks as soon as we go live and stuff. But boom.
that's
Okay,
probably
now
yeah.
we're it's official. I've tweeted it.
Tweet a tweet tweet.
It's all in the hands of the algorithm now. Yep. So I just and then I accidentally clicked the link to our own stream. So look, it's like the bits are flying out and then they're flying back in and flying back out again. Yeah.
That's the best.
So anyway, to get that out of the way. So yeah, it's Friday. It's March 11th, 2022.
So I hear.
It's
Hmm.
just a normal regular day. Nobody's birthday or anything that I'm aware of. Um
Yeah.
Now, why is Skype telling me that I should send you a cake? Does Skype know your birthday? Did you
Oh, look at the
that didn't
balloons!
I
Hooray!
don't think that went to the stream, but the Skype just
I think it just went on
yeah.
mine.
So yeah, a bunch of I don't know why Skype thinks it's your birthday. Is it your
Well, it
birthday, Pat?
is. Yeah, it is. It is indeed my
Oh,
birthday.
you know
So.
why? You know why? I think it's because when you got here you said present.
Oh
And,
yeah, there it is. I was demanding a
yeah,
present.
when you to tell me you were here, you just typed present and Skype was like, "Oh, it must be his birthday." He
Yep.
mentioned presents. Mm.
But it is my birthday. And as with many of my birthdays, it was overshadowed by other events.
Mhm.
Today was my daughter's first reconciliation.
Ooh.
So that's something. And so even my wife and daughter forgot to wish me happy birthday until we were almost leaving, and I was like, I'm certainly not gonna be like, well, we're talking about birthday, but I was feeling a little, just a touch Molly Ringwalded, 16 Candles reference.
Uh, I only saw the first 14, so
Well, you got to watch till 16. That's the best one. It goes downhill from
yeah.
there. But we were getting ready, and um, all of a sudden I reminded my daughter, because she has been counting down the days till the new Pixar film, uh
The big
Red
Clifford
something,
the Big Red Dog.
Big Red,
Mhm. Yep.
Big Red
Yep.
Gum.
Nothing lasts longer.
And what is it called? Something
It's
red.
called
I don't
the
know.
red tornado.
Sure.
It's
Anyway,
the
she
guy
was.
from the Looney Tunes. The big, what's his face? You know, he's
It's not
yeah, it's
Gossamer. Get out of
Gossamer.
here.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Changing red, chasing red. I don't know. Anyway, she's been very excited. And of course it just coincides with my birthday, and so she would be like, it's in 2 days. It's like, I do. I also know what you're referencing, though. But anyway, so right, like we're right about to walk out the door, and I was like, yeah, you're gonna go. You have to go to your grandma's tonight, and you get to watch
Turning red.
uh the video, huh?
Turning red.
Turning
Yep.
red. Turning red.
Turning
Yes.
red.
I was like, you get to watch the video tonight, and all of a sudden my wife just goes, oh, Marin, come here. So they sang to me. It was nice. And then at work, nobody acknowledged my birthday, because it's one of those things. I work with four people. It's really hard to keep track of people's birthdays.
Mm.
Eventually, they remembered that it was my birthday as well. And then this evening, my daughter's school has a trivia night every year. So I was like, well, I guess we're gonna go do that.
Now, what kind of
so,
trivia do they do at like a what is she like? She's
so
like 9 or 10 years old, right? Nine.
the kids don't come.
Oh.
It's an adult function. It's like a fundraiser.
Oh, you have to go.
They serve
It says
drinks, and
you go do trivia.
yeah, so we have to go to. And it was this year was not cool. I'm gonna be honest. Like, we had a really great time, but it was a, like, really hard trivia about bizarre things. Like the first whole round was, now she goes to a Catholic school, so I guess we should have seen this coming, I guess. But it was Catholic trivia,
Hmm.
and it was not
Yeah, you
like,
should have seen that coming.
well, I mean, we've been doing this for like 4 years, and never have they pulled out Catholic trivia. And it was awful. Like we got nothing. No, we got we got transubstantiation. I got it. I got
Uh,
it. That was me. Um, but yeah, that was it. Like everything else was like, what saint pulled the thorn out of the lion's paw? And I was thinking to myself, isn't that an Aesop tale? Like
no,
that's not in the Bible, is
that
it?
no,
But it is.
that's from My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. That was Fluttershy.
That too. That too. But yeah, just really very difficult question. We were like, oh man, there's a friends category. We're gonna mop up during the friends category. The first question out of the gate was, in the episode where Monica catered her to her mother's brunch club, she lost a fingernail. We need to know which fingernail and which hand. Like which finger and which hand. And it's like, why would I know that?
That
All of the questions, like that was the first one. They usually start off with like a lob. The first, like that, it got no
so
easier.
that's like a deep cut for a Friends trivia.
Right, exactly. And so like this common knowledge trivia that we were at was all like that. We still came in fourth out of probably like 14 teams, but it was rough. It was very hard. There was a math, like very difficult math portion. And I was like, this is not fun. Like it got really quiet during the math portion, and I just turned to my wife and I was just like, "Did you hear how it got real quiet? That's the sound of fun dying."
Oh,
But I did get a really good one in. They had a section for like it was slogans. They would tell you the slogan, and you have to come up with what it was for. And some of them were kind of easy, like where's the beef? We're like, oh, that's Wendy's. That's good. And there's one we were all stumped on, and it was like, does she or doesn't she? And I was like, it's got to be Summer's Eve, right? It was not Summer's Eve.
what is it though?
It was Clairol.
Mm,
Right, right. So see,
mm.
this is what we're working with. This is what we're working with. So yeah, that was. But okay, so the point of this story. Sorry, I have undiagnosed ADHD. Um, about halfway through, all of a sudden, one of the people on our team is the person who put the whole thing together. Ron Mack's wife, you remember
Oh yeah,
Ron
yeah.
Mack? So Candace, she puts the whole shebang together, and so she orchestrated a birthday cake, and the whole place sang "Happy Birthday" to me, and it was very uncomfortable,
Yes.
but fun and sweet, but very
I
uncomfortable.
I don't like anybody ever acknowledging that I'm anywhere. Like when people are
Right.
just like, "Oh, hey, you made it," and I'm just like, "Oh, well, now you've ruined it."
I had a glitter sparkle hat that said "Happy Birthday" across it that I wore all night. When I thought that was enough, but then they sang like not just our table, the whole place, and it was very uncomfortable. But like I said, very sweet, and I thank them, but also very uncomfortable. So, which I think that's always the point. At this point, when you're a kid, you love being the center of attention, and it's amazing. You need to be a special kind of somebody who still thinks being the center of attention is the most amazing thing ever when you're an adult.
Mhm.
So, um, but we had a really good time. But I literally ran here and just like walked in the house and ran up here and said, "Okay, I gotta go, gotta go podcast right now."
Yeah. That's
So,
that's the one downside to not pre-recording these to going live is you got to start
right,
at the right time. We can't
that's
just
right.
start whenever we want and then put the podcast out 2, 3, 4 days later whenever I get around to editing it.
Fix
I
my
do have
computer.
I did have enough time to fill up my gigantic water bottle. This is the the Bubba.
The Bubba, sponsored by Bubba. We are not sponsored by
Mm-mm.
Bubba nor anyone.
Nope.
So,
Nope. Nobody cares.
but hey, Bubba people, get a hold of us.
Yeah. I assume this is one of those Chinese
You'll notice
companies, but
I don't have one, so
mm,
you could fix that, Bubba.
send us a sample to review.
That's right.
Yeah, if you hadn't made it for a like if it got to be like about now and you still weren't here, I was probably just gonna switch over to my PC and just like stream doing something like some game thing.
There you
The
go.
uh
There you go. Get something
the
going.
thing that I've been doing lately is Skyrim. I was tweeting about this the
Tell
other
me
day.
about now. Skyrim
Hmm.
is a game,
Yes, yes, you're on the right track.
and that is literally all I know about it. So tell me more.
Sure. Skyrim, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, is a game that came out um, about 10 and a half years ago, and it's the fifth game, as you could tell from the title, in the major like series, and then there's a bunch of little spin-off games. The first one came out in like I don't know the late 80s, maybe I don't know. Elder Scrolls Arena, but anyway, Skyrim was hugely popular when it came out, and has basically been um, like it's continued to be popular with a certain like group of people for all this time, and it has a huge modding community. And so I think the reason that I got into it, I've been doing this thing through the pandemic where I find like old games that have a healthy modding community and start to just like see like what's the most you can squeeze out of this game. So it kind of started with Minecraft and then like Space Engineers and then City Skylines and a couple of other Stellaris, a couple of other ones. And I think it was watching someone playing Elden Ring, which is a new like Dark Souls type game.
Hmm.
Watching people play that game that for some reason made me go, it's probably about time to try Skyrim. And because the anniversary edition came out, I want to say like last November, the 10th anniversary edition, which to my knowledge just includes all the DLC and not much else from the previous special edition that came out in like 2016 or whatever. So anyway, I haven't really played the game much, but I think I've spent about 16 hours trying to get the mods to work.
Now, when you do a mod, because I've always been interested in this, but I've you know my level of computer skills. Like, is it coding? Is it graphics? Is it
It's
everything? Like, how does this
so
work?
I'm not making the mods. I'm just trying to install the mods.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I don't make mods. I did make in college I made like a mod that was a complete reskin of a little Mac game called Escape Velocity Nova, which was like a top-down spaceship game where you just kind of it
Hmm.
had like a large universe, but it was a single player little indie game, and I reskinned the entire thing into a Star Trek game. Like, and I was like,
Feel like I remember
yeah,
this.
editing the it was hard to do because you had to use a program called ResEdit, which was a classic Mac OS pre Mac OS 10 app that let you get into the like resource files of things and start editing the hex
Hmm.
codes and stuff. And so um, I had 3D modeled all of the starships, or got 3D models of all the starships, and rendered out the sprites from all different angles, and then put them into the game, and you could fly them around. And I did every single possible Star Trek weapon, and then put every planet in there, and you could jump around, and it had the Delta Quadrant and the Gamma Quadrant and everything. Anyway, it was a really huge thing, and then I was like, well, that was fun, and then I think I forgot to save it, and it's gone now. So
That's a hell of a
yeah,
story.
so Skyrim.
Skyrim.
Um, the graphics for Skyrim Special Edition look like they came out in 2016. It looks like it came out in like 2013. So what I've been doing is trying to make the game look like really next gen, ultra modern stuff. So all the mods are like retextures and different higher polygon meshes and stuff like that, just trying to make the game look like it's very modern and stuff because my computer can handle it. It's really beefy. Um, so there's plenty.
that was that was the best humble brag I've ever seen about your
I
computer.
mean,
My computer can handle it. It's
it's
beefy.
I mean, if for one, I can't lift it because it's so heavy. Okay, it's very heavy. I have it on a little roller thing
That's what she
to
said.
put to push it around, and
I guess that could be what she said. I've been watching a lot of Office lately.
Do you want me to list the specs? Do you want me to just not humble brag and just brag?
No, no. Let's keep going. I like
All right.
this. Tell me
So
more.
the thing about modding a game is that every game has a different modding system, and it all
Hmm.
depends on like does the game support mods naturally, or did the community decide to force the game to support mods? And you know,
Consent is key.
games like Space Engineers and Stellaris and City Skylines, they all use Steam for mods, and while they use mods in different ways, and there's always different compatibility issues, it's mostly just subscribe on Steam and then figure out the correct order to load them all that they don't conflict with each other. This
Hmm.
is more like Minecraft Java modding, which is like the Wild West free for all, but it's like there's you get a mod manager, of which there are three of them out there. You get a mod manager, and then it's like you download mods from a website, you unpack them, and then the mods will have various different kinds of things, including plugins. And then it's really a matter of getting everything in the right order so that they overwrite each other correctly.
Hmm.
Because um, if they overwrite each other in the wrong order, weird things happen. So one weird thing that has happened was at one point, all of my people had black faces with white bodies. And if you Google it, everyone's like, "This is the blackface bug that you get if the face gen screws up because you loaded things in the wrong order." And I appreciate the people who tried to call it the dark face bug, because that's at least sounds less like we're trying to be racist. Um, but yeah, so that was one thing. Um, the opening scene of the game, you're like captured and you're riding on in the back of a carriage, and they're taking you to be executed. And so I have no idea what caused this because it just kind of went away as I was trying to fix other bugs.
Yeah.
But when you would first start out, for whatever reason, the carriage would be like bouncing all over the place, and the horse that's pulling it would be like desperately trying to keep the thing on the road because it's just like repaths to the center. But like you could see the wheels like bouncing around, and the camera is just stuck on your face in first person, and sometimes the carriage would just like start rolling sideways, and so you'd just be like and the other NPCs are just like, "Oh, good, you're awake," and then they just like carry on with the conversation while like the whole world is flying around all over the place.
Insanity is happening everywhere.
And I'm just like, I don't know if I should I keep this. Maybe this is fine.
This is the best
Yeah.
mod.
So anyway, that's my I've only actually played the game for maybe I don't know 4 hours, but I've been trying to mod it for like a week and a half. And so it's like I've played the opening scene like 100 times just to you know you get it was hard when I was trying to mod character creation because it was like you have to sit through the opening, and then there's a part where someone just goes, "Who are you?" and the camera flips around and it's like, "Who are you? Make a character." That's how the game works.
Who are you? I don't know.
And so it's like I got to sit through the opening, get to that part again, and then now I can play around with like putting new hair. I put in like a physics engine so that like hair can bounce around and stuff like that, and
Oh, okay.
capes and
So, and again, all these just exist. You just need to find them and then apply them.
yes, you need to find them and you need to read all the instructions because a lot of them are like, um, you have to, if you're using this thing, you have to install my thing after that thing, but not before this thing if you're using this thing. But if you're using this other thing, then you got to get this patch from here and you got to do my thing, their thing, then this patch. And, and so it's when people in Skyrim talk about modding, they talk like other games, they'll talk about like, what's your mod list? These guys talk about what's your load order, because they spend so long figuring out the correct order to do things that the load order becomes the important piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wish that I had gotten into this when Skyrim was new, so that there would be a lot more people playing at the same time as me. But
Mm-hmm.
the community is really robust now, and there's a lot of mods and a lot of tools. And on the one hand, it's like, hey, I'm really late to the party, but on the other hand, it's like everything's pretty much ready to go. I can find a 6-year old YouTube video that solves every problem I've had. You know,
Nice. So that's
yeah.
awesome. I dig that.
So hopefully,
I uh I I've I feel like I tried modding something. Like there, at some point, like I remember like just looking at trying to do something, and like 5 minutes in, I was like, nope, this is just not going to happen.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna walk away.
Some games make it really easy, like Space Engineers. You just subscribe on the
Hmm.
workshop, and when you start a new playthrough, you just go this month, this month, this month, this month, this month, and it just puts them in a list. You still got to kind of put them in order sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't matter,
Hmm.
but that's I think been the easiest one that I've done. Other ones like Sins of a Solar Empire, you just download the mods and throw them in a folder. Most games like pre-internet or pre like Steam was just like, yeah, you download the mod. If the game supports mods, you just throw it in the mod folder and then select it from the UI and everything. Now there's mod managers and everything.
You're talking to a guy that used to, like, maybe 15 years ago was still going, I got a new font. Where's the font folder so I can put it in there? I
I
got,
don't know where the
this is,
I don't know where the font
this is
folder
way
is.
above my, well, I don't know either. But I also didn't know that you could just like right click on them and install them.
I think I
So,
think ultimately Minecraft Java is still the worst to mod, at least from of the ones
mhm,
that I've done, because that is truly the Wild West, and it's like you can't really combine mods very well. Like they don't just like overwrite each other easily. It's like
mhm.
if two mods conflict, it just doesn't run, you know.
Ah,
And they'll feel like this mod is for 1.12, and you're like, okay, well 1.18 just came out. Are you guys going to update it? And they're like, no, 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 just keep doing 1.12. It's fine. And that's how. And so
it's fine.
you,
It's totally
yeah,
fine.
you end up having to like manually segment all of your mods into like profiles that you have to kind of jerry rig inside of the Minecraft folder structure of like, okay, I have installed 1.12 for these mods. I've installed another 1.12 for these mods. This is 1.13 for these mods. Here's 1.16 for these mods. And then you have to decide, are you using Forge? Are you using Fabric? There's other launchers that will patch the game to be able to work with certain mods. And
Mm,
mods will be written for Forge, or they will be written for Fabric, or they will be written for whatever thing. And then if you're going to do it like a server, that's a whole different thing entirely. Because then there's like three or four different ways to do servers. And anyway, I
mm.
enjoy it because I'm a problem solver, but I often end up like describing this to my wife yesterday. She was like, "It sounds like just installing the mods is the fetch quest." Because I
Right.
go to install one thing and it'd be like, "Okay, here's the requirements. You need this, this, and this, or this." And I go, "I don't know what those things are because everything in Skyrim is acronyms." So,
Ah,
so it's like, "Oh, you want to install this ENB? Do you have SKE 64 or whatever? Do you have USSEP? You're going to need CVBE or UNP or BDE or one of those things. You got the SMIM SMIM. You got SMIMs. Yeah,
Smears?
and
Smears?
and so like I'm always just like, yep, open new tab, open new tab. I'll go down, I'll drill down, and then I'll come back up and hopefully remember where I started, and eventually get all these mods in. So I think I have 103 mods so far,
Wow, that's cool.
and it looks fantastic.
I'm sure it does after all
Yeah,
that. 103 mods, it
yeah,
oughta.
looks really good. So I'm looking forward to playing it someday.
You're like the kid who's gonna set up all the Legos and have all the things and just like, and then I'm gonna play. And then it never
Yeah, right.
happens.
Yeah.
They're just 25 and they're like, okay, no, I'm never gonna touch this again. Give me the Craggle.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm the Will Ferrell from the Lego movie. So,
We all become Will Ferrell from the Lego movies sooner or later.
my cat's decided it's time for him to do his patrol of the house.
Good man. Good man.
So what's going on with you? You seen any good trailers lately or anything?
I've seen I saw a trailer. I saw a
Yeah.
trailer. Was it a good trailer? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Was it a trailer for something I'm excited to see? Yes. Was it a trailer for Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Ah,
Yes.
good. Good.
So, I feel like we should have watched it
I'm
again
gonna
because I watched it like a week ago
I've never
or whenever it came out, and
I've never tried this on the stream, but
oh, we're gonna do the
I
thing.
can't I never set up piping the sound from my
Damn
browser, so we
it.
can't actually watch it. I mean, I can play the video for it. Um
Well, so yeah, play the video because you know what I feel like even though you always tell me you're not that big of a Star Wars fan, you have way more Star Wars knowledge than I do.
Mhm.
Like I am like a casual just the movies
Well, let
fan.
me tell you, I love this trailer, and there's so many cool references to the other shows, like the cartoons and stuff in here.
Mhm.
Um, so like this is a reference to A New Hope. This is Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm digging that. I'm digging that.
this
I'm digging
there's a
Ewan McGregor.
this no, not that. This thing here. This is a meme already. I don't know if
I
you've seen that
know.
where he's like looking, and then you see something else, and then he looks away. My favorite
I've
my
seen
favorite one
many.
so far is he's looking through the binoculars, and what he sees is Bones from Star Trek Five looking through the binoculars because he's looking up at Kirk, and then it it shows him like that, and then it cuts to Bones, and he's got the exact same face with the binoculars down. That's my favorite one.
That's awesome.
So anyway, yeah,
I
he's looking good.
think
He's
eyes
appropriately
those
old enough.
buttons. Well, is he though? Because I saw a meme that basically showed everybody from this trailer, and then it was like, yeah, but in like 18 years, it cuts to Sir Alec Guinness. Like, life on Tatooine is fucking hard.
Luke is, I believe, 15 years old in A New Hope.
Right, right,
So
right. So at this point, if that was Luke, we have to assume.
he's like,
So this is maybe only 10 years from
listen,
when we meet
it
them in A New Hope
life
again.
on Tatooine is rough. It ages
It must
you.
be really, really
Yeah, it
rough.
ages you quickly, for sure.
Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru,
hmm
for shit's sake. What's Batman doing
This
here?
is,
That's what I want.
as you can see from the closed captioning, this is the ship of the Grand Inquisitor.
Yes, but why does it look like the Batwings front?
Um, you know,
Like I all I can the second I saw that I was like, when is that going to fly in front of the moon?
this is the most exciting thing to me about this series is the Inquisitors. They were a big part of the Rebels TV show. They were
Okay,
like the main bad guy. The Inquisitors are dark Jedi that work for Darth Vader. And
another Dark Jedi
yes, exactly. He will join us or
will
die.
join us
Yeah.
or
Okay.
die.
Good. So anyway, I don't think these guys are specifically anybody from Jedi. I think these are different Inquisitors. I can't. I think there were only like maybe three or four Inquisitors that you ever saw. Although, to be honest, this guy right here. I don't know if you can. You can't see my mouse on the stream.
No.
The um, the guy right in the middle there with like the mushroom hat.
Hmm.
He may very well be one of the Inquisitors from the Rebels show.
I mean, I wouldn't imagine them not. I mean, that's kind of the whole shtick that they do these days with the Star Wars shows is giving live action hopes to the cartoon characters. I feel like
Here, this guy.
pretty
Look
hardcore.
at that guy. See that guy with?
Yeah, looks
See that?
looks like the back of that
Could be
guy.
that guy.
I mean, that's. I mean, he's got that same kind of circle lightsaber thing on his back. But do they
They
all?
all do. Yeah, they all have.
Oh, okay,
They all
okay.
have the double-sided lightsaber, and it spins,
Hmm.
and they can
Hmm.
use it as
Hmm.
a helicopter, which is
What?
absolutely.
No.
It is. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I honestly love it.
Go go gadget helicopter saber.
So after the first Inquisitor dies, this guy, he's from Utapau. He's one of those guys.
Have you ever heard about the the corduroy pillows? They're making headlines.
Yeah. All right. All right. Actually, now that I look at it, is that the guy? Is that the Grand Inquisitor?
I mean, if he is, he hasn't fallen asleep on the corduroy pillow
No,
yet.
not yet. I mean, it's this. Oh, hold on. I went too far.
It's a very similar design, but he
It's
definitely doesn't have
no.
the
He
the
is
texture to his
he
face.
is one of those guys from episode 3, when they go to the when
Hmm.
Obi-Wan goes to the one planet Utapau and he's got the squeaky lizard and he fights Grievous.
Yeah. See, this is what I mean. I'm not sure your knowledge
He does not look like that,
far
but it's like
outweighs my own.
I'm gonna go ahead and assume that because this guy is the Grand Inquisitor in Rebels.
Hmm.
I'm gonna assume maybe the Grand Inquisitors just get that shape.
This can you go back for a second to where you just were? This so is he cross-eyed? Like this looks like he just got hit in the face with a rake.
Um, you know, no, but you wouldn't know that from looking at these screenshots.
Right.
Honestly, it's kind of
So,
weird. But anyway, after he dies, and
mhm.
spoiler for Rebels, he eventually, like, his Force Ghost is a good guy, and he, like, he's purified after death and
Mm,
helps them out a little bit. But
that's
after
cool.
that, these two become like the main villains of the series for like a season. So these are the next
Hmm.
group of Inquisitors Vader sends after them. So I'm wondering, let me jump ahead a little bit back to that scene here. I wonder if maybe that's is could that be these two?
Could be. I mean, they, from what we're seeing here, which we're not seeing much. That looks kind of like those two.
Yeah, could be. Anyway, I'm gonna hit play again. hmm I don't know who that is. I know who that guy is. I'm assuming this is another Inquisitor or just some Empire person.
Hmm.
And see, that doesn't look like she doesn't. If that is her, she doesn't have that. There you go, spinny lightsaber. That's the thing.
Is he about to
Ooh,
kill somebody or fly away though? I don't
this
know.
guy is that the guy? I
Yeah.
don't think that's the guy. I think it's a different guy,
Well,
same hat. But I'm gonna
maybe.
assume the hat is not. I had always kind of assumed that like their outfits were maybe like racial, like whatever, like she.
Okay,
But maybe
maybe.
this is all just like rank or something.
Is that a
This is a
girl?
girl, yeah.
And she's just wearing like Darth Vader's helmet top?
This is like the helmet from Spaceballs.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're close though. You're close. Yeah, I think these are different Inquisitors. They're just wearing the same outfits.
Same general idea.
hmm
I mean, I would not discount that the people you saw in that room may have been the people from the show. Because again, what Filoni and what's his name, they had stuff to do with this show, right?
Yes,
Because they
they
Favreau,
yeah
they got everything to do with this.
yeah, and
They
they did
love nothing more than bringing the characters from the cartoons
yeah
into
because they
live action, and I think it's
yeah
fantastic.
because Filoni did the cartoons also. So
Right?
I like that. I think that's new.
Yeah. That I don't think they've done character specific drops like that
I'm
before. I
gonna
like
see if IMDb lists the characters.
that.
Is it called
Excuse me, I'm
Obi-Wan
so sorry.
Kenobi or is it just called Kenobi? Oh, there it is. Oh god, now I can never figure out how to find the. Where do you go for the cast? Here we go.
There's the top cast, and
Ah,
then you should be able to.
map.
There you go.
Yeah, Hayden Christensen's coming back as Darth Vader.
That's what I
This
heard.
this was the thing that I was concerned about was is just listed as Grand Inquisitor. Oh, here, Inquisitor Riva. Oh, that's the.
Was that their name?
No, I think Inquisitor Riva, I think is this the woman who's standing behind the table here. It's
Okay.
not these two. It's not these two.
And again, usually they try. I think they try to keep some secrets. You know what I mean? So if that is them, maybe they're not specifically putting their character names on
Very well then.
out on
Keep their secrets.
IMDb.
Okay, we're gonna go.
Although
Hey, there's us. Look at I've been searching a lot of Skyrim.
nice, nice.
Inquisitor. Rebels Inquisitor. I want to find a clip of the flying. Let's see. Is there one? Inquisitor lightsaber spinning compilation. There you go. I have always felt that this is like that there's some sort of like arms race for stupidest lightsaber in the Sith. It's like the Jedi are always just like we got like two or three colors and it's just a stick. And the Sith are just
Right.
like I got to have the dumbest lightsaber of all time. You know, Vader, his was a stick. Darth Maul, his is two sticks. You know, uh,
I mean, really, his was just a really long stick.
then you got what you call it, Dooku, his is bent. He's got a bent stick.
Right.
You know,
I mean, it happens to men, especially when they're
yeah,
old.
But this kid, Ezra, his lightsaber is also a blaster, or at
I'm
least
better
his
than
first
him.
one, because he was like, I don't trust my skills, and I would rather just be able to shoot people when I need to.
It makes sense. I see. That's what I always liked in like D&D stuff. I really liked being like, no, I'm just gonna do two things. It's like, no, you can't do that. It's like I can. I made it up good. It's fine.
it makes it really easy to deflect the blasters when you got the spinny doodle.
Sure.
'Cause it's like you're just like Deadpool in Wolverine Origins at that point.
Right.
You know, with the
Right.
I'm ju-
Right.
I just spin my swords and hit every single bullet. Look
It's
at
no longer a skill.
even
It's just
Ahsoka's just
what
like
happens.
I've got two lightsabers and they're white, but they're still just sticks
Right. One
because
is shorter than the other.
we're not we're not
Why? I don't know.
we're not here to. Oh, this was a really cool scene by the way, where she uses the Force to shut off the other person's lightsaber.
Nice. I don't know why they all don't do that all the time.
Yeah.
Like why that should definitely have been in Luke and Vader's duels. Just like damn it, Luke. Stop that. It's not fair.
Perfect. Do the one you're so close. Do the one where they're helicoptering around. There's so much spinning. It's like He-Man 2000X over here.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Damn it.
There you go. Look at him.
Oh,
She just
yep.
helicoptered up there. It's so stupid because you could see it a mile away. And on the show, you would just kind of like see them hovering toward them in the background, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, the Inquisitors are coming."
It is a very bright light that just spins. What is that? What is that? A mobile disco? Nope. Nope. It's
Oh
the
no,
bad guys
maybe we should walk away. They're floating in.
slowly hovering towards
There
us.
they go. Yep, see, here
There
they
they
come.
go. There they go.
Here they come. They'll be here any minute.
Everybody, turn your lightsabers on. And wait. Just let them warm up.
Anyway,
And yet
there
they're very effective.
there's always like multiple Inquisitors. See, I don't understand how Inquisitors fit into the Sith. Like here, there's three Inquisitors. I don't understand how Inquisitors fit into the rule of two for Sith.
Right. Well, I mean, are they actual Sith, or are they just
I don't know.
dudes who like
They're
are
force
force
sensitive.
sensitive? Well, but that doesn't. I don't think that that makes you a Jedi or a Sith
No,
if
yeah,
you're
no, I
force
know you're right.
sensitive.
Like, but I
Yeah.
don't know what like originally, and this is me getting into my deep. There they go. Bye. This is me getting into my deep knowledge of Star Wars again. The Sith
Hmm.
were originally a race, and
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. I
there were
only
tons
ever
of
knew
them.
that.
You know, they all just lived. You know, they were a force sensitive race, and then
Hmm.
eventually others who were force sensitive like followed their ways. And I think the ancient Sith are gone. Like, I don't think there's any actual Sith left.
I
I
thought they
just,
were all in that one room with Palpatine.
I just want to watch this again. Look, there they go.
Yeah,
Bye,
gotta
guys. See
go.
ya. And everyone's just like, yeah, there they go. Okay.
It's like those little toys that you get,
Yeah,
the Fourth of
it's,
July. That,
and then they, yep,
and you're just like, oh, there it goes.
never getting that
That's
one back.
well,
This
Timmy,
is,
we're done.
I should have put on an epilepsy warning for this. This show has so much lightsaber
Oh,
spinning.
take it down. Take it down a
But
notch.
anyway, back to Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm excited for this because this guy's in it. Uh,
Sure.
that's one thing.
If there's ever been something I was thinking is like, what did young Uncle Owen think about things? I really like to touch base back with that character.
You know, I'm looking at this. I don't know if I can zoom in. No, it won't let me zoom in on the video.
You have to
You can
say enhance.
you can see the lines just a little bit. What's my quality at here? Let me bump this up a little bit. Look, can you see that? You can see the
Well, a
lines.
little bit,
This
yeah.
might be the
This
guy.
might be the dude. Might
This
be the,
might very well be the
and
guy.
I mean, there's also there's gonna be some give and take going from CGI to live action.
Yeah, that's why it's so hard because like it could be a completely different Grand Inquisitor who just
Hmm.
looks similar. You know, like he's the normal Inquisitor is like, he's got a big forehead guy. But then you got to wonder, like, is his big tall forehead because that's what it looks like, or is it just
Such a
because it's a
silly
stylized
picture.
cartoon?
This guy looks like he got hit in the face, and he's like, "Ah."
I'm just, I'm really excited for them to pick up the plot lines. I'm assuming it's going to happen in Ahsoka, where they pick up the plot lines from the end of Rebels, because the end of Rebels, um, has it been long enough? Can I spoil it? Let me see how many people are watching.
I have never seen it, and I give you permission to spoil it for me.
So Ezra, um, there's a they go to hyperspace with Thrawn and Ezra disappear in hyperspace. It was like their way of defeating Thrawn, but Ezra kind of sacrificed himself, and so they're both gone. And Ahsoka vows she's going to track him down, and she's going to find Ezra, basically.
Hmm.
So what
Hmm. Hmm.
what you see in Mandalorian is that Ahsoka is looking for Thrawn,
Right.
implying that it's now what would it have to be? Because that's Rebels takes place at A New Hope, and like Rebels ends basically at A New Hope,
Okay.
and it
I mean, not that much
yeah,
time had passed
Mando's
then.
shortly after Jedi, right? So it's really only
Right.
like maybe like 3 years later, 4 years. I don't know how much time
I
passes.
thought I thought I just want to say at some point I heard 5 years.
5 years.
I thought maybe it was 5 years after Empire
Okay, so she's
that Mando was taking place.
so she's probably been looking for him for like 5 years.
Sure. I mean that makes sense. But yeah, I mean that'd be interesting. Again, I'd love to see now the one Jedi from that show that was Freddie Prince, right? Freddie Prince Jr.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like if they don't let him actually be that character live action, unless he's dead, I don't know. I would be sad because I
He
love Freddie Prinze Jr. I think he's
well,
awesome.
he yeah he is dead by the end of the series.
Force Ghost, maybe.
Could totally be a Force ghost.
I would love. I would just love. I always love like what they did with Katie Sackhoff.
Hmm.
Um, they let her be Bo-Katan, right? I'm saying these names correctly,
Yeah, Bo-Katan Kryze.
somewhat. I think that was amazing because again, if you're able to, because some people just don't fit the type, obviously.
Mhm.
Um, but if you're able to pull off being that character in live action and you voiced them before, there's nothing I love more than seeing that.
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was perfect. And I don't even watch those shows, but I looked it up when I was like, oh, I heard that that's what happened. I was like, oh, and I looked at it. It's like, oh, perfect. I love it.
They so
I love it.
um the Bad Batch show, that's a Disney Plus show, is
Yeah.
a spin-off of Clone Wars. And in the very first episode, they it's the show starts when Order 66 is given, and because
Hmm.
they're
Hmm.
genetically screwed up, the it doesn't affect them right away. And so they're given the order to hunt down the Jedi, and they refuse to kill this like young kid Jedi, whose name is not said, but he's played by Freddie Prince Jr.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's just assumed that that's the guy from Kanan Jarrus from Rebels as a kid.
Hmm.
They let him live. So, but it's weird. It's cool that they got Freddie Prince Jr. back to do it, but it's weird because he's like a kid and he sounds like Freddie Prince Jr.
They did nothing
But
to
not a
help
thing.
him.
Not a thing.
That's that's less cool.
Yeah. But still looks cool. I mean, he's clearly up for doing the role again. And I mean, I think nowadays he's more of a voice actor than a live actor anyway, right? I feel.
Well, last time I saw him on anything, he was on the Brewster revival,
Oh, really?
which was a great show, but it got canceled after the first season. In my house, we really loved it. But again, my wife is a huge Punky Brewster fan. I don't, you can't see it from this angle. She's got a Punky doll. I'm in her office again,
Mhm.
but I got her Punky doll up there. So when we heard it was coming out, we were very excited, and it was a super, just sweet, cute show. But Freddie Prince plays her, or Freddie Prince Jr. plays her ex-husband slash maybe they might get back together, will they, won't they, kind of a thing. Um, and he's just, I don't know. I've always enjoyed Freddie Prince Jr. I think he's a good actor. So,
The dark
be it
saber.
voice acting or not. Oh, that looks like somebody's giving it to her.
Mhm.
You got to win it in combat. Duh.
Yep.
Watch Mando.
Yep.
You'd know.
Exactly.
Bedoy. So,
The Kanan Jarrus. I'm going to reveal a big plot point about him, Pat. That's not his real name.
what?
There's a
What is it?
there's a huge twist toward the end of the
Kanan
series.
Kanan Skywalker.
No, his real name is Caleb Doom. That was my reaction as well. This at that time too. Just like, oh, that's just a different name. Like that's not like it. Like the only way that was
It's
the
time I reveal something as well.
please go ahead.
My name is actually Jonathan Smythe.
Yeah,
But please don't call me that
the only foreshadowing of that was like a force wolf that kept going Doom,
ever.
and then they're like
What
his
is a
name is
force
Caleb
wolf?
Doom, but it's spelled Dume.
That sounds more like dumb.
It's pronounced Dume.
Dume.
It's Dumas.
That's Dume.
I think that's how you spell it. I don't remember. What did I double click on here? Get out of here. Well, anyway, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm excited. I don't. What's the plot of this show, Pat?
I have no idea. See, this is the problem with shows like this. See, like Mando is so great because it has such an open end. You don't know what's going to happen. You know, the whole Baby Yoda father child thing was so way far out of left field that I never would have ever guessed that that's what the show would have become. This is like the Black Widow movie. It could be great, and I'm hoping it's going to be great. But in truth, we know everything that's going to happen. Nothing major can happen in this storyline. We're just seeing where things end up, you
Yeah, I
know.
think
And so while I'm excited, there's just that element of I I know what's going to happen in the end.
I want to say so. If this is 10 years after um, Revenge of the Sith, I
Mhm.
want to say this is basically running. It's timeline wise concurrent with Rebels then, because I think Rebels is also 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. I think it's. Um, I want to say it's, or maybe this would be just before Rebels, because I know there's a time jump in the middle of Rebels too. So I feel like the entire series goes over 5 years, and so the
Mhm.
A New Hope, if I recall, is 15 years after Revenge of the Sith,
Okay.
and I
Not on the afternoon.
I believe because the implication is that Ezra and Luke Skywalker are the exact same age because
Okay.
Ezra says that he was born the same day as the Empire, and so was Luke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Makes sense. Got it. Following.
So anyway, Pat, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I just know literally everything about it. That's my curse.
I'm not a fan of this. I just am knowledgeable. There's a
Yeah.
difference.
I mean, I'm not, like I like this one because I like the cartoons and this dude's in it.
Sure.
Corduroy face. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for these Star Wars shows. Um,
Me too. They time and time again. Even Boba, which was slow.
mhm, mhm.
I'll give it that it was slow.
Boba
And you
Fett,
know what? Here's, huh?
Boba Fett,
Slow Buffet. I like
Mandalorian. They got
that.
to start coming up with shows that work really well with like pacing
You
memes.
you listen. You have to get every name of a show reviewed by like a seven-year old bully. And if they can come up with any real zingers, name it something else. Sorry.
Mhm,
No, but Boba Fett was, it was slow, and it here's the problem for me when it comes to anything like those shows. My biggest comparison is Wolverine Origins. You know, you take a character that is super cool, especially because I mean Boba Fett is like the epitome of the character that is cool for no reason. He's got, like, on paper he's got nothing going for him. He has not proven himself in any way, shape, or form. He is just so fucking cool that he's the coolest.
mhm.
Like, that's it.
Yeah, it's like it's implied.
Right, you know,
His
and
coolness
and
happened off
he
screen.
says
You
he
were
says
pretty sure.
what, four things
Yeah.
in that trilogy, and he appears as a cartoon character in a never seen holiday special, and that solidified him as one of the coolest characters in Star Wars. And then they're like, but here's kind of sort of a backstory. And it does nothing to service the character. It's an interesting story. And if it happened to anyone else, I might have cared more. But it's like, okay.
Yeah, I think
Like why they did not give enough of a justification for him to be like, I'm gonna try to be totally different now. Because he like comes out of the Sarlacc pit and you're like, oh, like immediately he's just like, hey, oh man, I got taken by these Tuscan Raiders. Hey, Greedo looking
they
guy, do you want me to rescue you?
they
And
taught him
it's like,
they taught him how to love.
well, right, but they didn't, and that's the problem.
In flashbacks, they
Like,
did.
they they didn't do anything. Like he should have been an asshole, but he came out not an asshole. You know what I mean? Like just by virtue of almost being killed in the Sarlacc pit. And even at that, like they could have played into that and they're like, oh, he's just grateful that he got out. He's a changed man. But there was no indication of that. It was
Yeah,
just I was always kind of a good guy. I was just getting paid by the bad guys.
you could
Da 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 da.
you could tell what they wanted you to like. You could see the
Right,
journey they
right.
wanted you to think he was going on, but it was like it didn't really pan out like visually, like
And
in the
you know what
story.
else is difficult? And this is not necessarily a knock because I know it's not something that anybody can control. But what's the man's name who plays Boba Fett? I always mess it up.
Tamura Morrison,
I'm gonna just
something
go
like
with
that.
that because saying that out loud makes my tongue tired.
Tamura?
Um,
It's Tamura.
he like naturally is always smiling. Like Boba Fett spends like the entire time, like when he has his mask off, like I think what he was trying to convey is wincing, but he's like this the whole time. And it's like he's teaching him how to drive and it's
He's
very
got he's
comical.
got the two suns in his eyes. He's just like,
Right, right.
ah,
He's like,
damn it.
ah, but it comes off as like a very friendly smile.
You,
And you're
you
like,
know,
I don't want this from Boba Fett.
like bounty hunting, that's just a job.
Right,
It's just
right.
you make ends meet. It's like nice guys do it too. It's just a job.
Sure, sure. But yeah, that's I think that was my biggest problem with the show is that it
I mean,
showed me that Boba Fett was not some quiet badass. That Boba Fett was in fact a nice guy,
let
and
me
it's like
let me
we didn't earn that.
let me ask you this, Pat. If you were just doing your job, okay, just going
Mhm.
about your business, doing your job, and then one day you realized, man, uh, there's a good chance that in the normal course of my job, I'm going to fall into like a sand anus and get devoured. Um, you might be like, you know what, I'm done with this job. I'm gonna try something else.
Listen, I hear that. I hear that. And if he actually came out and if there was any journey to that, that's the problem.
Yeah,
There's no journey to that.
yeah. It's
There
like
was no clear
he
good reason for
he's
him. Like they tried to do it, like you said, you could see what they were
yeah,
trying to
it's
do.
like the journey is there, but he started the journey like pretty much ready to go. You
Right,
know,
right. He's like, no, I'm down for being a changed guy. I'm totally
yeah.
now if they made him a total asshole, total like badass guy, like the whole time, but then like one of the sand people showed him kindness, but it was the opposite
But
of that.
here's why I think it's genius, Matt. Here's why I actually do think it's genius, and I think they didn't intend for this to be the case. Because I think they clearly intended for it to be an actual journey of growth that we didn't see. But to me, what the show showed me was like, how you never actually see Boba Fett being a badass? It's just because he's not. He's
Right,
not.
right.
He's
That
never
is
been.
again,
It's you never
that
saw it
is
now. You never saw it
that is
before. You never saw it now. He's just a guy.
that is the trouble. Again, that's the like
You
you
all
don't
you all assumed he was a badass just because he has a cool outfit and talks all mysterious and everything. But he's not. He's a nice guy in a hat. You know,
right.
he's got a gun and a missile launcher.
You don't want it's the same thing was like I don't want to see my heroes die. I want my heroes to ride off into the sunset and have many
I don't
more
I don't want to
adventures,
find
you
out my
know?
heroes were nice guys.
That's not what I'm saying. But when you distill a character down and you have, and again, this is that, oh, we want to subvert your expectations. I want to punch anybody who wants to
I
subvert my expectations. Uh,
I like
that will
listen,
subvert their
they're my
expectations.
expectations for a reason, and I would like you to cater to them, please.
I don't need to be
And
catered
be
to, but I just don't need you to specifically spit on my expectations.
I don't
You know,
in this case, I really don't think they intended to subvert expectations.
no,
I think this
and
was
not.
just
I don't
bad
actually think
storytelling.
so either. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
What they were doing didn't work, and thank God they must have realized it halfway through, because they're like, let's just make the rest of this season Mando 2.5.
I
Done.
which I have mixed feelings about because I really feel like I really like that's when the show really did pick up and it was nice
It did,
and
right.
everything. But on the other hand, I'm like, man, the whole plot that they covered in those 3 episodes, I assumed was going to be like the whole next season of Mando, you
Right,
know?
right. Yeah, me too.
And they just
So
rushed through that whole
they
thing, and I
just
was like,
rushed
oh,
through
okay.
it, and now, uh, and again, those that time could have been given to fleshing Boba out more and making what he was trying to do different. Again, there's so many little things that they could have done that would have ultimately made the show stronger.
Yeah.
But instead, we got a weird Boba Fett show with a really awesome Mandalorian. I don't know, trailer. I,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Miniseries.
Mini series. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
I
Um,
I thought it was just too I don't know, like they were bring like they got there were references crammed in like Visla, the other
mhm,
Mandalorian who was, Clan Visla was the previous owner of the dark saber and um I don't know, it was like this whole series just ended up feeling like a wasted opportunity that sounded good on paper.
mhm.
Um and then didn't pan out. I mean
I
like they could
I
have had
don't.
like Luke Skywalker have another confrontation with Boba Fett. It's like, remember that one time when
That
we
I
tried
mean,
to
yeah.
execute you and you ended up getting me knocked into the Sarlacc pit?
I mean, honestly, that's kind of where I thought it was going when like the X-wing was coming. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this could be really interesting because Baby Yoda's going to come back. Of course, we get that. But if Luke brings him, he's going to see Boba Fett, and oh, that's going to be crazy shit. And instead it was just like, oh, like, because honestly, that's one of the weirdest things about that whole interaction to me. That Luke was like, yeah, I came out and I fucking fought some Death Troopers, and it was awesome. And then your little piece of shit chose your outfit instead of my lightsaber. So, fuck y'all. I sent R2 to drop off your trash, bitch. it's, it's just a weird.
There's
Like, it's actually it. To be honest, though, it is very Luke.
mm,
Like, the second Luke gets rejected, he's probably like, "But Uncle Owen."
it's it's very Jedi. It's very like
Uh
the
huh.
will of the Force and all that, and it's like destiny and whatnot, all that, nonsense. The
And all that
yeah.
jazz.
So, he's probably like, oh, he took the little T-shirt, so he's got to go. It's the Force, the he's with the Force and the Force is with him. Yeah.
Sure. I would say, like, he made very specific, he chose his words specifically, I feel, when he said a short time to you is a long time to others. I felt like there was no reason why Grogu couldn't go spend 50 years with Mando, because I mean, how old is Mando? He's not going to last, 50, 60 years
I
more,
mean,
maybe, if he's a young man.
he's a
He's not a
Mandalorian
young
too. I mean, I
man.
don't think they live to
Right.
old age.
He's not going to be around all that long, and odds are Grogu is going to help his quality of life by saving his ass with force powers now and again, and b, he's going to be happier with him.
I
He's
just
going to be
it
a happy guy.
it does make sense. Although at the same time, if Luke doesn't train some more Jedi's, there's not going to be any Jedi's left to train him in 50 years. But
Well, we do know for sure that there's one, and that's it. It's Ray. Now that's where it gets interesting. I would love to see Rey as a Jedi training Grogu. Grogu being kind of an appropriate aged, like he can probably talk.
Mhm. Man,
We see like teenage Yoda.
if they did, if they had Grogu and BB-8 in the same franchise, like
Yeah.
the marketing
Oh
department at Disney
man.
would explode.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, you give him 10 years. I bet you that's coming.
Mm,
I
yeah. Oh
bet you
yeah.
that's coming.
Yeah. We'll see
Uh, yeah,
If Disney ever decides that it's financially feasible to revisit the sequel trilogy. I mean, I'm sure it made a ton of money, but it was not well received. So,
here's the thing, and I don't want to get too far into this because we have plenty of other things to talk about today. But the prequel trilogy has good bones, I think,
the sequel trilogy.
or maybe, or yeah, I'm sorry, the sequel trilogy. Maybe it doesn't have good bones and it has bad bones and good walls. I don't know the analogy to make here.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of
There
mixed
are
metaphors here.
things there are things about it that I think are very good. I enjoyed Ray's story right up to a certain point.
Hmm.
I liked the
Right up till the
characters of
climax.
Finn and Poe. I thought they were good characters. I would enjoy somebody who is given creative control to tell a single story from beginning to end,
Hmm.
take these characters and do something cool with them.
Hmm.
Mini series wise is probably the best.
Yeah.
Movies are probably
I
done
mean,
for them.
they could, Filoni really rescued the prequel trilogy with Clone Wars. Like
Hmm.
Clone Wars, it doesn't really make the movies better, but it makes the story better because you see all of the like it makes Anakin a better character, you know.
Hmm.
Um it was I don't know if they did this on purpose, but it was rather genius the way they started out with Ahsoka being an insufferable brat, and then they built her into like the best character in the franchise. Um he could probably do something with the sequel cast and make it work.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, do it, not maybe not right this second, but do it soon. Like, don't let these actors get old. Don't do something with them now where you can really make a good go of it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Make something really interesting. I think it's like I said, the pieces are there, but they've not been put together right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give having Ray be a kick-ass Jedi, that's awesome. All that's cool. I never liked that she was just like automatically like a force user. I thought that was kind of dumb. But so was Luke, to
I
be
mean,
honest,
I think that's how the Force works.
maybe. I don't necessarily love that, but yeah, that's one of those things. But I just feel like there's a generation of kids that love those characters because they don't know better. They don't know that the movie sucked.
Hmm.
They know that the toys were cool. You know, my daughter ran around with a big stick and a Ray costume that we bought after Halloween was over for a long time, and she would use the force and do all. I've got great pictures of her outside at her little playset with her stick and the little goggles that you thought were going to be part of the costume for more than 10 seconds, and she's like got her hand out like this, and
Hmm.
and it's awesome because it's everything that I was doing with wrapping paper tubes when I was a kid. you know the imagination was captured.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
kids were there for it. Unfortunately, because it's not wonderful like our Star Wars was, it'll fade,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. It's like
if they don't do something to really kick it in the ass and make something of it.
yeah. The what you said about like having there being like a single consistent story person, even if they're
Yeah,
different directors, like there needs to be a consistent
yeah,
story because it was like I mean, we're going to be rehashing a lot of the entire internet over like the Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker
right.
and everything, but it's like, the Last Jedi, they made some choices. Some of them I was rather happy with. Some
Hmm.
of them I was not so happy with. But then it was just like, okay, well now JJ's back and he's going to give us like he's gonna steer it back to the original vision from Force Awakens. And then I was just like, oh, well, actually, that sucks too. So,
Well, I mean, again, the problem was, like we said, the problem was one guy came in and said, "Hey, I've got this idea. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up all these dominoes." And he sets up all of his dominoes. And then the next guy came in and very specifically took a shit on those dominoes. Whether or not the shit was cool looking or not at the end is not the issue. Is that he very specifically stated that he was going to shit on the dominoes.
mhm,
And instead of building something else or building onto it, taking like naturally taking it another direction, that's not what he did. He said, "Fuck that shit. I'm going to tell my story, and then you're all going to think I'm the coolest."
mhm,
But no, we didn't think you were the coolest.
yeah.
At bare minimum, you have people like you who say, "Yeah, I liked parts of it," you know? And I feel like I liked parts of it too in the moment, but I'm so upset that he took this opportunity to fuck us. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if it was a good fucking.
I think the where I kind of land with this, like knowing where Rise of Skywalker ended, and knowing that because JJ had spoke about it when Force Awakens came out, and he spoke about it later of like, Rey being a Palpatine, and basically the way Rise of Skywalker ended was how he always intended to do it. And so
Okay, I mean, I'll give you that. It wasn't great.
no, it's like yeah, okay, so Ryan Johnson came in and he probably looked at that and was like, well, that's really stupid. I'm going to go my own way. But then his own way was also not great. But that it's like it turns
I
out
feel again. I feel like
from
either
the
one of them
beginning there
could have
was
been
no good
great.
way to go. There was no good plot happening.
Maybe, maybe. Or I mean, here's like we said though. Maybe both ways could have been decent if the whole story was leading there the whole time. You know what I mean? Like I think that there are ways that that ending could have been good if the story supported. For me, stories have to earn things. I mean everybody in every aspect of my life, I have never given somebody respect for no reason. They have to earn it. You know what I mean? Like I don't just walk into a place and be like, "Well, this guy's the boss. I'm going to respect him." That doesn't mean I'm an asshole. It just means like they don't have my respect out of the gate, you know?
See, I'm
And
the opposite. I'm the person who you have my respect by default, but you can easily lose it.
maybe I'm overstating because I don't disrespect people. So maybe I give respect. But what I'm saying, trust. How about that? Okay. I give respect, but trust is earned,
Okay.
you know? And where I might respect these people, they did not earn my trust. None of them did.
Mhm.
Because it at every turn, like at the very end of the first movie, you're like, okay, this was a crazy start. I can't wait to see where this is gonna go.
Yeah.
They fucking killed Han Solo. Spoiler alert. Fuck. Oops, sorry.
For those of
But you
you.
know what I mean? Like it was like, what? What? um, we saw Luke, and it's like, okay, all these things, and you're like, you had a whole year or so, right? They came out every year, or did they come out
Well, like once a year.
quicker than that? I can't
I think
remember.
no, I
Quick,
think it was once a
about
year.
once a year.
Yeah.
So you had a whole year to sit and stew and think and be like, oh man. Now, if I'm the guy who's saying, hey, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw everything up, I would really push for not giving the fans a year to think about how cool everything could be, and literally, like, as literally as possible, have the first thing that happens is they throw it out.
I mean,
Luke is handed his lightsaber and he throws it
that
out.
was my favorite part
And
of the
that
movie.
was,
It was
well, me
downhill. It was
too,
downhill from there.
because it absolutely was just like, yep, this is the movie you're getting. This is what you're getting. They said, nope, nope, not at all. Fuck it all. And once again, it comes back to the idea of characters. I don't want to see a Luke Skywalker that's a curmudgeon, and I don't care how much it may work with his character arc. I don't care, because I've seen the articles that are very very much in favor of the idea of like, yeah, yeah, this is very Luke.
Wouldn't it be nice if one of the main characters from the original trilogy was not an old curmudgeon?
Right, right. It would be great.
Like it's like, oh, we grew apart, we got old and sad, and we
I
all
mean,
of our
I did
lives
feel
went to crap. But also the
again, yeah,
entire universe just reverted to the way it was back in A New Hope somehow.
and so nothing that we did actually mattered.
Yep,
We just changed around the names of the good guys and the bad guys.
yep.
Sorry,
Well,
we're no longer rebels because that's not PC.
as
We're the
George Lucas would say,
resistance.
it rhymes,
Right, right. Anyway,
Yeah, hey, let's take like a 5-minute break so I could refill my bubba. And then we'll
great.
talk about I don't know, what do you got, like a toy thing?
I got piles of toys right in front of you. You can't even see them. They're below the camera. Yeah.
All right, Pat. You work on that enthusiasm and we'll be back in like, I don't know, 2 minutes or so. Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, we are. Totes.
I
My
cannot believe.
goodness.
I was just walking through the house looking out the window. I cannot believe it snowed. Did you get snow?
Yeah, yeah.
What was
It's
the
not.
deal with that?
I don't know. I'm so over it. So over it.
Hmm.
But you know what I'm not over, Brian, is this brand new product I'm going to talk about.
Yeah. Fair. Okay, good. Good
Um,
segue.
yeah, see, I can do segues. So this is not a brand new product, but it is new to me. I just got it this week. Um, it is the Turtles in Disguise 4-pack. Bow!
Oh, is this the one with the creepy human masks?
Yes, it is. And like there's some of the coolest action features I've ever seen. That are not actually action features; they're just features of the toys. But let's see what this came with. So some of the cool little bits. We got a sweet '80s boombox.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. We got a skating board.
Ah, the
It's,
board of the skate.
it's a neat one. Put that in there. Um, a Hare and the Tortoise book,
Mm-hmm.
where if you look on the back, the Ninja Turtle looking turtle has won the cup. I don't know. I'm sure that this is from an episode, and I just don't know. Again, this is a super specific. Maybe you remember this one. I love it. I don't remember it, but I love it. It is a
Oh, a pigeon.
a pigeon ninja.
I don't remember that at all.
I don't recall that happening, but whatever. You got a delightful slice o pizza.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very good. And not only a slice, my friend, but not one, but two pies.
I always enjoyed
This
how
one,
the animated when they would animate the pie, it was always very not circular.
it's
It's
true.
like
It's
real life
true.
pies actually or pies, pizza pies are rather circular.
Are rather circular. Now this one is very special there. It is an anchovy ice cream pepperoni
Yep.
pizza.
I specifically remember them eating that one.
Uh-huh. Also, what I think is very fun about this is that now, if you look at this one, there's no pan underneath, but this one there is.
Hmm.
I, I don't know
The
why.
first one is the kind you put directly on the rack in the
Exactly,
oven.
exactly. Um, there's an array of hats. There's the because again it's the disguise. So there's the Indiana Jones type fedora, and also this great. I don't. You probably can't see what it says. It says weirdo
Yep. I can
there,
see it.
and
I don't know
it's
how it'll
meant
show
to
up on the
be
stream, but yeah.
it's meant to be worn backwards on the turtles. Um, and let's go ahead and dig into the turtles real quick.
Yes, let's dig in.
These are hands down, I think, the finest representation of a two-dimensional figure created into three dimensions. And I will show you and let you guys be the judge here as well. But here is Donatello.
Mhm. Very nice.
I love the fact that they add the drawing lines on them.
And
I think
it's not
that is
overpowering, like, it's
right.
subtle.
It's just enough. It's just enough. And the cell shading is the same. There is very slight shell shading. I doubt uh cell shading, not shell shading. I don't
There's
think it's
shell shading.
gonna come
It's right
out
there.
because
It's right
it's
there on the shelf.
so slight. You can see
Yeah,
the green very lightly changes color from back to front.
there.
It's very clean, and you see it in the bandana even better.
Mhm.
But they do a marvelous job of it. The articulation on it is fantastic. And then there's another feature that I'm going to get into in a second that makes them, like I said, the most customizable figure that I can imagine. So there's Donnie. We got our Leo here. Leo's looking good. He's
Mhm.
got the big wide blades.
Yep, cartoony.
He does have the holster on back for them. Donnie as well has the holster on the back. Everybody's favorite hothead Raph.
Mhm. Does he
He's
got teeth in
looking,
there?
huh?
Does he have teeth in there?
No teeth. The turtles rarely had teeth unless they were grimacing.
Yeah. Well,
But he is ah. And then of course my favorite TV turtle, cartoon turtle, Mikey. He's
yeah,
having a good
yeah, to
time.
clarify, cartoon turtle, because your favorite TV turtle is, of course, Venus de Milo.
Clearly, my favorite movie turtle is Raph, though. That is why I clarified.
Hmm.
So now
He's
let
the
me show
leader
you
of
what
the team,
makes.
if I recall from Partners in Crime informed me.
Yes, yes. Um, Let me show you what makes these the coolest. So here is Mikey's head.
Yes, indeed.
Um, First of all, I love that they made the bandana fully posable.
Oh, wow, that's
So
is that a ball joint
if
or
you,
is that
it is a
a
swivel
hinge?
peg,
Ooh,
swivel peg.
wow.
And so, like, I guess the idea is the wind's blowing this way,
Mhm, for
the
dynamic.
wind's blowing this
Or
way.
if he's, like,
They're
if he's
jumping
moving,
up,
if he's jumping.
they're jumping down.
Mhm.
you know, it goes on and on.
Yeah, every
Now
direction.
what's really cool though is that if I'm going to show you, you apply a little pressure at the mask,
Oh, boy.
and
Oh,
the bottoms of the face come off of the mask.
okay.
And so you have smiling face,
Mhm,
semi-serious face,
mhm,
big happy smile,
mhm.
or was that the same one I just showed? That's the same one I just showed you. There's the yelling, possibly sad face.
Is the inside of their
Uh,
mouth the color of their bandana? Or is that just the camera
no,
visual?
that just so happens to be the color of the mouths. There, I'm gonna see if I've got them all here. So there's also a I think that one's on both the heads here. There's a subtle smile as well as a open smile. Dead air. I love dead air.
Hmm.
Um, while I get this off here, they they fit in very snugly, which is fantastic. The you can't tell that the bottoms of the heads don't match the tops when they're in. So there's just the standard smile. Now the cool thing is you also get two um, tops for each turtle. So you get an angry top and kind of a happy neutral top. And it all really plays into, see, get the angry and
Hmm.
the happy.
Yep.
It plays into very much what mouth you put them on. So there's happy eyes with happy mouth, but then angry eyes with happy mouth give you more of a kind of a sinister
Mm.
look to it, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
So you can make your own combinations of weird faces.
Absolutely. So you got your angry
That looks
eyes,
good.
kind of base mouth. But again, if you put the other eyes, he's almost sad now.
Oh, to someone
You
with
know what I mean?
alopecia.
Like they're so versatile. Um, Again, this one sadly came with a kind of a gouge on the nose. So like that one, he's scared. He's very frightened
Hmm.
versus him being very angry.
Hmm.
And so again, all the turtles come with both angry eyes and natural eyes, and any of the mouths fit on any of the turtles. So each expression, you get two of each expression to mix and match. Um, which just the notion that you can change the expression of your action figure is awesome. you know,
Hmm.
Being able to choose, uh, you know, uh, the emotion that the character is having at that moment is pretty phenomenal. I'm gonna go back to Mikey smiling like he does. Put his head back on. And again, the weapons are all very well detailed. You got Mikey's got actual chains on his nunchucks, and they're all interchangeable. And then they came with, let's count them up here real quick. Two, three, four, 8 different pairs of hands, not including the ones that are attached to their bodies right now. So they've got, thumbs up hands. There's pointing hands. There's the Harrison Ford for you. There's a pointing thumbs up hand, like their regular kung fu grip, open hands. Like again, it really just shows how well detailed you can get into choosing the look, the expression, the feel of each turtle,
Hmm.
which is so cool, so cool. Um, Now, the these wouldn't be the Turtles in Disguise pack though
If they weren't in
without
disguise.
the
Yep.
disguise. So the disguise can go two ways. We'll go with Raph here because he's our famous
Hmm.
more famously in disguise than other
A little too rough.
turtles. A little too Raph
Need to
indeed.
de-wrap him a little.
So we get. I am not going to put these on just because of the time it takes to get them on. Pants. Each turtle comes with a pair of blue pants. It's very time consuming to fit these little blue pants on.
Cloth pants.
Cloth
Little
pants.
dolly pants.
I will give him though, however, the classic trench coat. Each turtle comes with their own trench coat. There's no difference between them, so any trench coat is their trench coat.
Hmm.
Um, but they're very nice. They're very well made, little cloth trench coats. They're a little snug, so they fit well. Um, Once you get them on, it's just kind of a little bit of a fight to get them on. So here's Raph in his trench coat,
Nice.
and now you can go classic Raph bogey.
Hmm.
Got to take his bandana nub off.
Oh, no, that there goes my immersion. Yep,
Then he's
looks like some sort of a big turtle in a trench coat.
yep, absolutely. Now here's where it gets weird though. Now I don't know if y'all remember this. I do because they gave me nightmares way back when. But the turtles actually had human masks.
The human masks. Before you bring it up, the human
Mhm.
masks were so creepy back in the day, and they were cartoon. Like they weren't even like live action. But
Right,
they like I don't know how real people would be fooled by this. Like even
right.
within the cartoon world of the shows, like who's falling for this?
So here is uh cartoon
God.
human mask.
Yeah.
And this, they actually, again, each turtle comes with a mask. There are two expressions. I didn't realize this when I first got them because they're so terrifying to look at. You can't.
You muted yourself again. Got to move that mute button.
I did. I moved it down.
And then you started fiddling with stuff down there.
Right. So, and here's the other
Oh,
more.
that
He's this is
I think
the
that's worse.
happier.
Yeah, I think that's worse.
Yep, it is.
It's
It
you know
is.
why? You know why it's weird in retrospect. This is why it's even weirder now is because the jowls look like it's like a human version of the brain
That's
From
awesome.
Pinky and the Brain. That's what it looks like.
Again, I feel like this helps a little bit. You when you put the hat
It
on him.
it does. It does. The eyes just look so fake. I was never clear. Are those their real eyes poking through there? Or are they like
I
fake
I
eyeballs?
don't know. I don't know because I don't think so. I don't believe that the turtle's eyes would fit right there actually. Um but in any case, I'm probably never going to display them with these heads on because they creep me out so
Mhm.
much.
Yeah, because you don't want to scare the children.
Exactly. But I do love just Raph in the trench coat with the hat. I think that's enough, frankly.
Mhm.
You know, just the old bogey style Raph. Love to have him fighting Casey Jones like this, but I don't have a Casey Jones because these toys are fucking expensive. But all in all, like I said, I mean, this set came with the disguise pieces and everything. They are releasing another set of the four turtles, sans disguises. I believe you get more different accessories. I really don't know how they're they're building these. One thing I was disappointed that I didn't get in this, when you bought them as two packs, you got things like turtle comms, and like Mikey came with a swinging thing that looks like he's swinging the nunchuck. So there were a couple of accessories I was disappointed I didn't get. Um, but they are putting out another pack of the four turtles in there's like an upcoming Target, or maybe it's not even Target. I don't even remember who it is. It's like a collector's haul or something dumb. I, it's a big online push for you to buy toys that they don't actually have produced yet.
Hmm.
Uh, and I know they're doing a Turtles 4 pack,
Target,
but it's different from this 4 pack.
yeah, Target and Walmart both have online collector cons now, and neither one of them is usually very good,
Right.
just in terms of execution, or at least Walmart is decent stuff but poor execution. Target is an okay execution but nothing worthwhile.
Right. So I as I talked about last week, and I will not get into again because it's long and winded. I have been heartily disappointed by Walmart, more than I have been impressed with them. They suck. Uh, and Target, I don't know. Target, I've never been I've never lost something from Target. If I purchased it from them, it may have taken a long time, but I've always got it eventually.
Yeah,
Um,
it does.
Walmart has been the only one that's hit me with, "Sorry, buddy, we've had your money for months, but decided you don't get your product. We gave it to someone
Yeah,
else."
yeah. Walmart, they will do both of them will like restock the department stores before they fill online pre-orders if there's competition for the stock.
Hmm.
Walmart will eventually cancel your order. Target, they will like what Target will do. I don't know if this is more annoying or not, but Target will like charge you and then refund you and then charge you and
Yeah.
then
Oh, I
refund
hate
you
that.
and then charge like
I hate
it's
it
that's so annoying.
because I will, say I make a purchase thinking that I have a certain amount of credit,
Hmm.
and then all of a sudden it's like, "Oh no, I'm sorry, we've canceled your item because you purchased too much." It's like, what? Give me a month. It'll be back.
Yeah.
But
It,
no, that's not how they
they
operate.
do eventually
So,
for the most part. So Target is predictable at least for Transformers and sometimes for Power Rangers because it's I think more so for Transformers. If there is a non like main character who is red, it's going to be a Target
uh
exclusive.
huh.
So every red you see if you see a leak and it's like yeah this is a one-off collector character and it is red, you're like yeah that's going to be a Target exclusive.
It makes enough sense, I guess.
Sometimes you have to use you can only buy it if you have a red card.
Ah, yes, I've hit that once or twice with them on different things, and it's like I have a red card, so it's okay. But it's it's very. I can imagine it being very very frustrating.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, it's like I
um,
get that you want people to sign up for your credit card, but let people buy things.
right. I mean,
Let
that's
people let just let people give you money. People want to give you
the
money for the things you have.
the bottom line for any of these things, if you ask me, is I don't understand why they're not made. Well, I guess I do. See, here's where I come from. I come from understanding FOMO and understanding the idea of FOMO is a marketing tactic, but also being exceedingly susceptible to FOMO. And I hate it. I hate
Mm.
it because
You're
I can see the
you're a
strings.
slave to your impulses. Yep.
I see the strings, and yet there are times I can't help it.
Hmm. I
The
mean,
biggest
you're
one,
there. I mean, the strings are still attached, whether you can see
right?
them or not.
The big one for me in recent times was is the Master of the Universe Origins. I said to myself when they came out, I was like, well, I gotta buy a bunch of them to support the line. You know, that was the idea in the beginning. And then it's like, oh, the line is doing great. People are buying it like crazy. Just cherry pick. Get any characters that you think you'll play with, or if you're thinking, oh, that's a good one. They never made that one back in the '80s. I got to get that because it's at that point I do feel like I should get them. It's a Mattel made Master of the Universe figure. It goes with my collection. I have literally bought everything that they put out.
Hmm.
Everything. There are definitely things in my collection I don't want. And it's like, why'd you do that, buddy? You could have just passed on that one. But you didn't. But you
I I was doing that with the Lightning collection, the Power Rangers figures,
didn't. Hmm.
for a long time. I the first time that I didn't get one, I actually it was the Ninja Turtle ones. I had pre-ordered every single one of them. And then
Hmm.
I was thinking about it and I was like, I really don't care. I literally don't care about any of these, and I'm only getting them for because I have the entire other like the entire rest of the
Right.
collection I already have, or it's on pre-order or whatever. So it's like this is just a completionist thing, and I
Hmm.
don't care about these designs or anything. Like they weren't bad, and they were actually really cool looking figures and stuff. I was like,
Sure.
I'm not going to display Ninja Turtles with the Power Rangers. Like it just like these are going in a bin, you know.
Right.
So.
I totally get, and that's my problem with the Origins line. Like I bought Castle Grayskull. I bought the vehicles. Well, I got a lot of it for holidays or gifts or whatever. And which is, like I said, I'm not certainly not downing on them. They're great toys. They are great. I like playing with my daughter with them. She likes playing them with me. And like I said, they've come out with a couple of brand new characters or versions of characters that they never had in the '80s, and so I'm super excited to have those. But I definitely don't need to keep buying every release. But then there's that part of me, there's that FOMO that comes back and says, yeah, but man, if you don't buy it now and you decide you did want to buy it later, it's going to cost you extra. So just buy it now and
Mhm.
hope that you really wanted it. And I guess if you don't, hope that it's worth something to resell in a year or two.
Yeah,
But I have a bin. I bought like one of those wide 3 drawer Rubbermaid bins, and it's just holding Origins, and it's got more space for the more that are coming in.
that's
And it's just silly, I just keep buying them because it gives you that like uh little like glimpse of like, oh sweet, a new toy. And then you're like, yeah, but it's literally exactly like the toy I have from the 80s, except for its elbows can move. Eh, what am I doing here?
this is the issue that I face with SH Figuarts
Mm,
of like the common writers mostly. It's the when they first come out, a regular release will be between like 35 and $60
right?
MSRP, and then like the higher end Shinkocho Seiho ones are like $100. But you run the risk of like you have no idea when this thing actually comes out, is it going to be like they're all sold out and you're going to be getting them on eBay for $300-400, or
Hmm.
are you going to be finding them on clearance for $15 in a year? It's like, and I haven't yet figured out what's the, because there are some really high end ones that I've been able to get later on clearance, and then there are some that I didn't get at first that are like really expensive, and they're never going to get, like, they probably won't ever get re-released, you know.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's a big one because I was doing the Star Wars SH figure arts. But at some point I just had to say I'm done.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I could have kept buying. I almost bought the Mando Baby Yoda pack. And I was like, and that was the big one where I was like, there is virtually no difference between their Mando and the Hasbro Mando. Like obviously the figure arts is going to be a little bit better. The posing is going to be a little bit better.
yeah.
That's just what they are. But they're not like $120 different. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I can spend 25 on this one, or I can spend 150 on this one, and they're not that different. They're not different enough for me to pay that amount.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Um, and it was the same thing with like, it's like I don't even give a fuck about like Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know what I mean? Like old Ben. Like he's not one of my favorite characters or anything. I
like
have
like Alec
the
Guinness,
Hasbro
Obi-Wan.
for right. Like I like him, of course I like him, but I don't like him enough to spend $100 to get the figure arts version of him when the Hasbro version one will do.
I want
You
to
know?
I want to jump back because we're probably going to end the stream in about 10 minutes or so, but I want to jump back to Ninja Turtles
Yeah.
if we can for a few minutes. I'm going to bring up my browser view again. I'm really going to have to work on that transition. It screws up like every other time. Um, they just announced, I think Sony announced this. Did you see this?
Oh, I saw this today. Yeah, yeah.
The Cowabunga collection. It's
Mm-hmm.
it is these games, these classic games. So you got the arcade games, Turtles and Turtles in Time. You get the NES trilogy plus tournament, the original Tournament Fighters. These games were so good. I mean, this first one was,
Mm-hmm.
but these games were so good. Two and three. The first one was meh. I always forget that you guys can't see my mouse.
I hate
Um,
the first one,
the first,
but I
I
love the
think I can.
first one.
There we go. I can select it and you'll see it. The first
There
one
you go.
is, it's very early
It's too
Nintendo
hard.
looking.
It's just
Yeah,
too hard.
it's
That's
not
yeah.
fun. Um, but two and three are really cool.
Oh yeah.
I never played Tournament Fighters on NES, but I own Tournament Fighters on Super Nintendo, and that's a
Oh,
really good game.
nice.
And of course, Turtles in Time, probably the best Ninja Turtle game,
For sure.
either in arcade mode or NES version. Um, and then they got that Revenge of Shredder. Did that ever come out? I think that's coming out soon, right? That Turtles in Time esque new Turtles game.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that? You're familiar with that?
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
Um, well, anyway, then you get like the Genesis games, which I never played. One of them is Tournament Fighters again. So I don't know about Hyperstone Heist. And then you get the Game Boy games, which I never played. But for $40, and they've added, if I understood correctly, all of the ones that originally had multiplayer, like on the same machine, now they
Hmm.
have internet multiplayer. So you can
Nice.
play online with your friends. That's
That's really
what I
awesome.
understood. So yeah, I had the trailer loaded here too. I was going to let it play while we talked, but now I'm like, I want to go look up that Shredder game because this is just showing footage from the there's the Game Boy game. That's one.
Yep,
Oh, so good. Big
there's the
Apple,
good stuff.
3 a.m. Yeah. So anyway, I'm definitely going to get this for $40.
Yeah, $40 is that's easy money for this. I would. What is it coming out for?
Everything, I think. Hold on.
It's still available for PS4, right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
see that.
Switch,
Because I
PS4,
have a
PS5.
4 and not a 5. So, oh, for Switch. Okay, we use the Switch all the time.
I think what
So,
the way this usually works is you can only play with people who are on the same platform as you, although
right.
sometimes Windows and Xbox can play together. It
Hmm.
depends. But if it's via Steam, then probably not.
Hmm.
So I don't have any of these other than a PC, so I'm just gonna get it for PC.
Well, that makes sense.
Because I don't have any consoles. I have a GameCube and a Super Nintendo and and a Wii. I'm a little behind, Pat.
That's okay. It's okay.
I have a PS3. Here we go. Shredder's
You
Revenge.
know, just a offhanded remark here. I still have a PS3, and the only reason I still have a PS3 is because it has the X-Men arcade game loaded on it that I bought from the PlayStation Store that is no longer available anywhere. So I can't mod it over to my PS4. So I will not get rid of my PS3 just so I can keep playing the X-Men arcade game over and over
Mhm.
forever.
Look at this game. Are you watching this? This is the Shredder's
I,
Revenge game.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, this should be coming out soon. It's supposed to be 2022. I don't know what platforms this is going to be on. It says the trailer is for PS4, but I'm pretty sure it's on multiple platforms.
I I can't believe that something that's still coming or just coming out is going to come out for PS4 and nothing
Yeah,
else.
right.
So, but that's cool. You plays April. That's awesome.
This yeah, it says coming to PS4 this year.
When was the video come out though?
Um that's actually what I was just looking for. When did the video come out? Where does it even say?
I don't know anymore. It used to. I feel like right in that top area, you used to be able to see when it hit
Now you
or when it
can't.
was posted.
Yeah. No, that's report. Show more. I bet it'll be under no. That's all it did was move the thing down. Um I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I thought the first trailer came out like last year for
Yeah.
this. Uh,
Well, maybe COVID bumped it around or something.
no, maybe not. February 10th was when this was
Oh,
kind
there
of
you
announced.
go.
So this is let's see, what does this say? New character trailer, Splinter, da, 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 they're gonna add April. Um Splinter is the game's final character. Oh, that's um oh, I see. Later this year for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. That's I can't imagine
What?
that. I mean, the newer gen consoles were out.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just like we know no one can get one, so we're only releasing this for the
Right.
four and the one. But I don't know. But I thought that yeah, it sounded like they were going to add lots of characters to this game was the impression I got. But maybe um
Maybe that'll be DLC as you go.
yeah,
You know what I
probably
mean? So
probably. All right. Well, anyway, we'll keep an eye on Shredder's Revenge. Um, was there anything
I
else you
would
wanted
like.
to cover today?
I was going to say I'd like to give just a couple of minutes, real quick, to kind of an update because I talked about this a long time ago. The first set, I think it was on our one time stream. Final Faction. Final Faction. You remember Final Faction?
Yes, you talked to me about
Um,
it like yesterday.
Shish. Final Faction. For those of you who don't remember,
Mhm.
Brian,
Uh-huh. Mhm.
um, is the Dollar Tree's homegrown. action figure line. And the fact that there is any kind of homegrown Dollar Tree action figure line astounds me, and I love it.
Mhm.
There is a cartoon. I tried to watch some of the early, like the when the first figures came out. It was pretty awful, so I haven't gone back yet. But I hear that it's picked up in quality
What's
a
it?
little
What's
bit
this
anyway.
called? Faction what?
Final Faction. Final
Final
Faction.
Earth Final Faction.
Close. The coolest thing is though, they not only did they come out with I think it was about 6 figures, 6 or 7 figures. The first in the first wave, they're now coming out with a wave two and kind of a wave three. I don't know if you want to call it wave 2.1 and
Their website
2.2 or
doesn't
something.
load, Pat. Hold on,
All
I
right.
gotta debug the internet. Hang on.
Yeah, check that out.
What
Now,
is it
what
doing?
some of you may not know,
There we go. I fixed it.
Jesus, what are
No,
you
I got it. I fixed it.
doing? What some of you may not know is that the Dollar Tree is now the $1.25 tree. Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
The Dollar Tree raised their prices to $1.25, which once I show you these, I think you're gonna say, "Well, heck, that's worth it." So, okay, yeah, scroll down a little bit there. This is the first wave. Um, the first wave there, you got your flying guy, your shooting guy, your leader guy, your girl, and your
Your
robot,
girl.
and then you got four bad guys.
Which one's the girl, Pat?
um
Of the bad guys.
huh
Which bad guy is the girl?
she's not a bad
No,
guy.
of the bad guys, which one is the girl?
Oh, so you got the big mouth guy with the weird eyebrows. Then you got your guy with no head. Then you got the girl, and then you got a repeat of the big mouth guy with the weird eyebrows. Um, you all can see that, right?
Sure.
As you can see in the upper left-hand corner there, that we just scrolled away from, that is the cartoon. So the cartoon is very like late '90s CGI. But again, this is something that was made for the Dollar
And
Tree. We don't deserve this, is what I'm saying. We've not paid enough to deserve this. And then if you're seeing here at the bottom of the screen, this is wave two, like A. And so so this is cool too about these figures is that again because they're Dollar Tree figures, many of the accessories are purchasable separately. You don't need them per se, but they enhance your play. Um, all these guys, they have names, they have backgrounds, they
I
have
like this guy.
uh,
Sergeant Steele.
goofy personalities. Um, they are pretty cool, to be honest with you. Um, I have some of Wave Two here that feature these are some of my favorite of this set. So we're gonna lead off here with if you yeah
This
right
is
there, specialist scope.
Churro is just a Paw Patrol.
Churro is essentially a Paw Patrol. Specialist scope here. I've got him here in my hands. He is essentially Tony
Hmm.
Stark,
Yes,
right down to the red armored
clearly.
suit. Um, which is pretty rad actually. One of the things I really like about these is I don't know if you can see well, um, but you see he's got the little gun holster on the
Mhm.
side. That gun is totally removable,
Ooh, and losable.
and so he holds it well. He's got the trigger finger and everything working for
Hmm.
him. He's got this backpack. He has a big gun that I left downstairs, unfortunately. And his other gun, he has got two holsters, two guns on his hips. I left that one downstairs too. Uh, the paint job is iffy at best, but this action figure cost
I mean,
$1.25.
you can't beat
Like
that.
you really can't. Except for with the following two figures I'm going to show you because it's so cool. This is that goofy dog Paw Patrol guy. He's amazing. He's just a robot dog. Now mine has got two right legs, so I'm gonna purchase another one. And then what's even best is it does come with this googly-eyed.
Is that a mispaint or is he supposed to be googly eyed?
He is not supposed to be googly-eyed. Um, you can see his googly eyes. I love him. Um, and then so the armor opens up and he just gets chucked inside there because there's not like a seat in there or anything for him. You just throw him in there and just shake them all around. Uh, so again, now what they you can see there, he's got wings in that picture. That's where you buy a second aerial assault pack,
Ah,
and you can
I
get
see lots
wings
of
or
characters with like the same wing backpack.
exactly. That's what you buy the
Let me go
you
back up
buy
here.
extra
Yeah, there it
sets
is.
of the
Air assault.
air assault pack. And so you can attach guns here. They have most of them have these little ports. The robot ones have ports all over them.
Those 3 millimeter.
The other figures have a lot of different um, like spots, but you can add guns and stuff to them, wings, whatever your imagination holds. I almost tried to point at the screen as though you could see me what I was pointing at. The covert ops one has my favorite accessory in it. It is this sweet ass hoverboard.
Yeah,
Look at that.
that's cool.
That is just a well crafted, cool hoverboard. I think the next step for me is custom painting these things. Because the detail is there. The detail's there. The sculpts are there. They could use a little bit extra paint. Now this one is my favorite of the new wave. So this fella here, he is the Boba Fett. He is the Wolverine.
Horn.
He is a character
Where'd he
who
go?
is yeah. Keep
Hold
going.
on, I'm trying to zoom back out. It's not letting me. No, I'll get there.
There he is. Thorn Covert Ops. He's got a beard. I like people with beards. And then like his description is he's mysterious and stoic,
He looks like it.
you know. And so I gave him this backpack from one of the because I like to think of it as a jetpack. I use it as a jetpack. He's got these Deadpool from Wolverine Origins type
And
blades that
an
swing out
entire
of his
sword on your arm.
forearms. Yep. So, and also, of course, because he has swords on his arms, that leaves his hand free for his blaster,
Yeah, obviously.
which is also cool because it's not, it's just kind of a nice generic space
Yeah,
blaster.
laser gun.
It's not like a handgun. It's a space blaster, which is
Yeah.
fun. So you would think that that would be enough to make this the coolest character, but you'll notice that he has this absurdly oversized hood
hmm
on, and that is because oh my god, he's an
It
alien!
says that right here, though.
I know it does. Shut up.
The page ruined it for me.
Um, but I mean, look at that. That's a really awesome weirdo alien face that you spin
But he's
around,
not one of the
and
bad
the,
guys. He's not a bad guy alien.
he's not. He does help the
He's a
good
third
guys.
rate.
So you know, for whatever reason, he is an alien that wants to help the humans. So, um, but the only thing that could make this any better is if instead of having to take the hood off and turn the head around, if there was some kind of a mechanism on his back. I know they can't. I know we're talking $1.25 here. They're not going to be able to afford an actual mechanism.
Yeah.
But even if it just like the nub of the plastic was able to be turned from here instead of having to take the
Yeah,
hood
they
off,
probably don't even have enough
that's
ink budget to write the word mechanism on the packaging.
it's it's entirely possible. So this figure, I mean, again,
I mean, and
amazing.
I made the joke about the ink, but like that, the paint apps on this are not terrible.
They're not. They're really not. They've got some dry brush work on them. Like you, again, it's really hard to see with the hood, and I don't know if the camera will focus on it. But if you look at his face, like he's got a good
Yeah, it's focused.
like metallic dry
hmm
brush across the alien part of the face, which is very cool and very. It works very well. The very large dot eyes don't add much to the character. Same thing happens with his human face there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
you know, but again, we're talking $1.25. Like what this is pure play. They've got a little bit of backstory if you want it. I don't give a shit about their backstory, so I just make up shit and I just play with them. Um, and so that would be enough. They sell these figures. That's fantastic. But I'm not done yet.
Oh,
There's
okay.
more. But wait, there's
Hmm.
more. This now you had to buy two packs to build what I'm showing you here. But again, the packs are still just $1.25 each. So for 250,
Ooh,
I
please.
get this awesome friggin' vehicle.
Wow.
I guess 375 because there is a figure in there. But the figure the little dune buggy comes in one pack, and then all the guns and like the armor to the sides come in another
Hmm.
pack. So I honestly don't know why you would buy one without the other. Oh, also this part goes on too, but it's this. Eventually, I'm going to glue this part on because it doesn't want to stay. But again, I can't stress enough that this cool vehicle costs
Yeah.
two
I mean, there's
fifty.
no bells and whistles on it, but like, do you need bells and whistles? Like, it
Right.
looks
I mean,
fun.
it's got guns.
Yeah.
The wheels
What
move.
else do you need for a car?
Right. I again, just the I'm not big on military stuff. So I wish this was just a touch more spacey. I think it would really be really cool if they went kind of all out on the extras and made it like a cool space vehicle, maybe even give it wings or shit.
Hmm.
But again, that's the kind of thing that you really can do yourself if you want to. You can put it together however you'd like. And so I am a huge fan of these. There's another, like I said, there's another part of this wave that has some new bad guys. I think three or four more good guys. I haven't seen too much about them, but I will absolutely be looking for them. And as soon as I do find them, I'm going to share that all with you. And uh, even just for like, I think I'm gonna buy another set of several of these characters just to customize. So I mean, they're just darn good toys. So if you're hankering like I am, I'm a toy guy. Nothing makes me happier than finding a new toy that I enjoy.
I
You cannot go wrong with
Yeah,
these.
like the thing about it not really having like gimmicks, like the fact that the vehicle is just it is just a vehicle, is really what I always wanted as a kid. Like I hated gimmicks. I still hate gimmicks with things. Like
Right,
gimmicks
right. Well,
take
and
away from like you being like you're forced into the gimmick. Like it takes away
sure.
your ability to imagine things sometimes. Um, Especially, and this part might be controversial, but I always hated like missile firing weapons because it was always like they always like one, I'm gonna lose those right away. Two,
Right,
um, they never looked realistic because like guns firing gigantic missiles never made sense. And I would always rather imagine laser blasts or whatever coming out of my guns and just
right.
be like pew pew pew. He's got And three, they didn't really sell those like crystal cubes that they always stacked up in the commercials, and then they would shoot the
Yep,
missiles into it, and they'd be like, "Ah, you hit my cube wall," or whatever, and I've been buried underneath my crystal cubes or whatever. Like that. That wasn't a thing that literally any child in America grew up with, like physically
right.
having.
But we all wanted
Yeah,
them.
it's like you always assumed they probably were sold somewhere, but they weren't. No one had
Nope.
those. Those were a commercial thing, and um,
Dollar Tree would make a killing if they just came out with
yeah,
crystal blocks.
they the gimmicks were like they were selling us on a promise that could not be delivered.
We grew up in the age of gimmicks. That's part of the problem. I like these two because they're so simple. And even like I said, even the gimmicky one, like this is the most gimmicky one of all, and all it is you turn his head around. Like you can't get better
Yeah,
than that in my book. It's fun. They are very individual. I don't have any of the aliens up here, like I said, but the aliens are really cool design. Like I like them. They're all basically army builders. Like you could just if you're bored and you're looking for a new toy, Go pick another one up. Go pick 5 of them up. Like that's the best. I would have killed to be able to buy stormtroopers for a buck and a
Mhm.
half. You know what I mean? Have Darth Vader and then just stack like 10 stormtroopers behind him. That's amazing. This is the line. This is what you can do. You pick up a shit ton of bad guys, make yourself an army, and they all got to fight like the 10 good guys you got. And of course, the good guys are going to win because they're
Hmm.
awesome. They're good
Yep.
guys. So, again, hit up your local Dollar Tree, pick yourself up some happy.
Hmm. Well, I think
That should be a slogan
that,
for
yeah,
someone.
that could be our slogan.
I
Pick
like it.
yourself up some
Come
happy.
watch our videos. Pick yourself up some happy.
Anyway, yeah, that is going to do it for us today. Thanks to the few of you who watched, much appreciated. And we'll be back hopefully next Friday with another Friday night stream. Be sure to follow us on the Twitter and the Facebook, and I don't know, join our Discord if you want. We talk about cosplay and Star Wars. It's fun times.
Finger
Yeah.
guns.
All right. Thanks, everyone. I'm hitting the thanks button.